Hi guys, it's Fana and thank you so much for watching. If you remember from a previous video, I made this lovely Pastel Goth doll, Evangeline, and today I'm going to be making her twin sister, who doesn't quite have a name yet. But this little girl is also going to be a Pastel Goth doll. I am using a Monster High Frankie Stein doll like I did for Evangeline, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's get started. I am very sorry for that very cringy opening. I would have deleted it if I had taken pictures of the doll before I destroyed her, but yeah. The doll's name is Adeline, and right now I removed all her clothing and the screws from her neck with some scissors and pliers. And I also will end up using 100% acetone or nail polish remover to remove all of her factory paint. You kind of have to squeeze the head around to get in all the nooks and crannies. But you just want to remove it from her face, and if the doll has any factory paint on her body, like Frankie's stitching, you need to remove that as well. After cutting off as much as I could of the hair, I put some water in the microwave, because do not put glass in the microwave, guys. And then I poured it in a glass jar so you could see what I was doing. This is to soften the plastic so that I'm able to pull off her head without damaging the neck joint, because if I do that, the neck can get very wobbly. And then you just use a towel so you don't burn yourself to pull the head off, and I recommend that you do not knock over your camera like I did. Yeah, don't do that. After removing the head and cutting off the hair, I use a small screwdriver to scrape the inside of the head to get all those plugs out. As you can see, as I scrape, they kind of get pulled in, and then I have the very fun task of trying to use pliers to pull the glue globs out. In a second, you'll see the mountain of glue that was all in her head after this. But now she's smooth and done. Okay, so, I hope that this is enough wefts for, this doll, because, that's all of the yarn I have. Okay, so now we're going to spray the doll. Make sure that you put on a mask because these chemicals are harmful. I used Mr. Super Clear, and after spraying it 2 or 3 times outside, guys, make sure you spray it outside. Please wear a mask. You can definitely feel the effects if you breathe some of it in. I know I did, because I was like, what harm can this do? Please wear a mask. Right now I'm using watercolor pencils to give the doll some fingernails, and I also use some pastels to blush her hands a little bit. I did not blush the rest of her body because she is wearing an oversized sweatshirt and some stockings, so really only the face and the hands are what you can see. But I definitely want to try to find a better way to put nail polish on, because it just did not it wasn't as clean as I would have liked. What I'm doing now is using some lighter colors to have the doll to sketch out exactly where I want to go. At first, these dolls were supposed to be twins, but I decided that upon designing her outfit, I wanted her to be more youthful and childlike, so I made sure that her eyes were more rounded. Right now I am putting on her eyeshadow, and I'm also adding some blush and things before I go on and do deeper colors. You also want to make sure that once you get it to how you would like, you spray it again with Mr. Super Clear in order to build up layers, because if you make a mistake and you have to erase it, then you won't have erased the work that you do like. But also to that, once you spray it, it stays until you use the acetone again. So just be mindful of that. I'm using various little brushes and such in order to mark where I want the eyebrows and the lip color and stuff like that. As you can see, I'm erasing it because I wasn't a fan of the shape of the eyebrows. I thought they were still a little extreme. And as you can see, I'm using lighter colors and building up because it's a lot easier to erase a lighter color than it is to erase a darker color. That's just art kind of 101. I really like the color palette that I've chosen for these dolls, the Pastel Goth. Frankie Stein's a pretty easy doll to get a hold of, so when I decided that I wanted to make a Pastel Goth doll, I ended up with like 2 or 3 different designs, and I liked all of them, so I just decided to make sisters or twins or however you want to call them. The eyebrows are still a little bit more angular than I would have liked. They're not as sweet as I wanted, but that's okay. This is all just learning and experimenting and such. I'm using darker purples and blacks to give more lines in the eyebrows to kind of make it a little bit more defined. I'm also using some white pastels to highlight the nose and under the eyes. After spraying Mr. Super Clear, I'm building up the whites of the eyes a little bit more and highlighting underneath the eyebrows to kind of make them pop. I also add some white to the top of the lip to give that a little bit more definition. And as you could see, I was kind of comparing her to her sister, trying to see how much I wanted to make it similar, how much I wanted to change it, if they actually did look like they were related, because even though I didn't want them to be exactly the same, I still wanted them to be similar. I wanted them to definitely see like they were in, if I was doing like a fashion line, I would be using either like the same colors or the same fabrics and stuff like that. And it's just always good to compare things and have a reference on hand. And since Evangeline was my reference for Adeline, she was sitting right there. I'm kind of drawing, oh, not kind of, I am drawing in the lids and such, and actually I did not put false lashes on this doll like I did for Evangeline because I, again, wanted her to be more cutesy, and the other doll is wearing, I think, more makeup and such, and more of the, she's kind of almost vampire-esque, and she definitely has more of a older outfit, a little bit more sexual, where this one will have a more cutesy outfit, which I ended up making completely by myself, made my own pattern, but I'll talk a little bit about that later. I'm still trying to figure out a good camera angle for this. This one I think is better than the other one, but it's still not great, and the lighting stinks a lot. I'm using a black pencil to draw on her eyelashes now. Again, these eyelashes are more subtle because they're not 3D like the other doll's lashes, but I like how they turned out. She looks like she's almost done, just kind of brushing up the colors here and there, adding, building, you know, the same kind of stuff. I decided that I wanted her to have freckles because I thought she would be really cute, so I used white, and I think I used a very light pink to add freckles all over her face. She's so cute. I like her a lot. I also used some white ink to add little highlights to her eyes. I am actually using a pin to put on the highlights. This is the most stressful process, I feel. I also add gloss to her eyes and her lips to give them shines. I found this really cute fabric with pink stars, and I stole stockings from that Raven Queen doll. Using wefts and yarn, I ended up making this wig and this oversized sweater, and I stole the shoes from another doll. I added the ribbon to the teddy bear, and here we have Adeline. I love how she turned out. I think she's really cute. So cute. So here are the two sisters. Again, I don't think they're twins anymore. They're just sisters. But I am very pleased with the results, and I hope you like them too. I have lots more dolls in the works. So if you like these videos, please give them a big thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you have a phenomenal day and keep being extraordinary.